We're still reupholstering the seat of an MGTF. This is episode 2. Today, we're going to do woodworking. I don't know how to do woodworking either. Let's look at the wooden base of the cushion. Okay, let's take a closer look at the piece of wood here, which is the bottom of the cushion. And as you can see, where those little bolts came out, they took a lot of wood with them, okay? So I looked at this going, boy, am I gonna be able to, here's another one. Am I gonna be able to get that new part in there? Here, and I'll show you. If I can, there's another bad hole. If I was gonna take the new part right there and put it in there like that, there's just not a lot of wood for those nails to grab. So what I decided to do was make a new piece of wood. Not only am I not a mechanic or an engineer or an upholsterer, I'm not a woodworker either. So what I have here is the seat bottom piece of wood. It appears to be 1/2-inch plywood cut into this shape. I went and got a piece of 1/2-inch plywood and I cut it into this shape. So if you look at the two of them, they look pretty close. If you hold them up over each other, they're close enough. The important part is the dimensions, to make sure that it's the same size, because the new leather has to stretch over it. And if this is not rounded correctly or bigger or smaller, you're gonna have wrinkles and it's just not gonna come out right. So, you know, I didn't do real good on the inside corners, but nobody's going to see it, at least for probably another 70 years. And I won't be here to have to deal with it. So anyway, I think that's going to be good enough. This is the thigh support that goes on top of the seat. I should probably mention, this did not look like this when I took it out. It was very dirty and weathered. So rather than paint it, I sanded it down and I sealed it with linseed oil. The same linseed oil that I used when I built the wooden frame of the car. So sealed with linseed oil, as is this. And I will reattach this to here using new screws and nails. And then we'll make a new seat, maybe. As you can see here is the old fastener that held the bottom of the seat, the wooden bottom of the seat, to the metal frame of the seat. They're very rusty. The nails are bent. This is a nice brand new one. These nails are bent because they were longer than the 1/2-inch plywood they went through. So the ends bent when they went through the plywood and hit the metal. Needless to say, when I took them out, a lot of the wood came out, which is why I made a new piece of wood. Here's a nice brand new one, as you can see. And I have bright, shiny new brass nails to hold it in. And where did I get those, you ask? I went to the hardware store. The guy on the corner has a real nice department and all kind of fasteners, and he hooked me up with these reasonably cheap, and I didn't have to wait weeks for them to come in the mail. Well, here are the two wooden pieces of the seat bottom. They go underneath the seat cushion and attach the cushion to the metal frame. Let's drill some holes in these and put them together. Well, here we have the seat bottom, the wood for the seat bottom. This is the old one. What I did is I clamped it with these C-clamps to the new piece I drilled the holes. These 4 and these 4 are for the seat rails, and these 4 are to hold this in place. So, let's see if we can attach those. Before we attach the 2 pieces, we have to put these in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to countersink these into the wood using a 5/8 inch wood drill. And let's see if I can do this gently. Okay, and then we'll take our little nut. Oh, look at that, just like downtown. Let's do that 4 more times. Okay, we're ready to install the nuts here, and our holes are countersunk. They go right in there real nice. Look at that, it's like downtown. Now we just nail them in. I have a nail here, my little brass-coated nail, and as you can see, that nail is considerably longer than the wood is thick. So if this was sitting on the metal seat and we pound those in, they're going to bend, just like the original ones did. But I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I came up with a plan. I'm going to put this piece here, and this piece here, and this piece here. Okay? And what I'm going to do is take my nail. Oh, by the way, I don't have the camera on the table this time, so it's not going to bounce all over the place when I pound. Yeah, I'm holding it with the needle nose so I don't hit my finger again. Came out nice. Let's try another one. Okay. Put that there. Two down, 1 to go. There's our little nail. We're going to put that. I should probably be wearing glasses. Put that there. Like brand new. Except we got these nails sticking out. Well, what am I going to do with those? Wait a minute. Let me get my wire cutters and go 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! There we go. Now I'm going to repeat that 7 more times. Okay, here's the thigh support on the bottom of the seat, and we have to attach it here. Now the question is, where does this go? Does it go here? Does it go here? Does it go here? Where on here does it go? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to line up these holes in the thigh support, right, with the holes in the seat bottom, because these holes are exactly where they were in the old one, so the thigh support should be in exactly the same place. Here's the bottom, here's the thigh support. I'm going to put a screw through there and line it up to that hole. And I'm going to turn it in finger tight. Put this one in here and line it up to that hole right there. They lined up, go figure, huh? And put that one in there and put this one in here. And take my impact driver. Okay, that was hard. I'll give you a nice close-up of the 4 screws that are sitting in there. And we'll turn it over. And there is our thigh support attached. Now all we have to do is put some of our brass nails in here to hold it in. And I don't think you need to watch me pound little nails in there. So there you have it. This is ready for the cushion. What we have here is the metal bucket. We took all of the padding and leather and covering off the seat. We're left with the metal bucket. Before we can get the rust off the metal, we have to try to take the wood off the metal. The wood pieces, which is what you nail or tack the leather on, they're riveted to the seat with a split rivet. It's pushed through, it's crushed, and I tried to get them off by prying the ends straight and then working them out, and it took a long time. So I think I came up with a new plan. This is a hole that a rivet went through. You can see this is a rivet right here, and right here. You can go down and there's one, and there's one, and you can find them all. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, okay, is we're gonna get our trusty putty knife, okay, and we're gonna work that in here. Where's the rivet? Right there. We're gonna put that in there. We're gonna get our hammer, and we're gonna tap. Like that. I cut through it. The end popped off someplace here. And as you can see, the wood's a little bit looser. We'll try that again. I'm going to take the one on the end off this time. If I can find it's right here. I'm going to put this in like that. Get my really big hammer. Okay, there it is. That one's off. And I have one here. I think this is the last one. I think that was the last one. Here's the piece of wood. We'll clean this up and oil it and reuse it. Before we go any further, I wanted to show you the split rivets that I cut off. This is the one here that I pulled out, and then these are the pieces of the ones that I cut. And wait, I dropped it. And that is a brand new one. So this is a brand new split rivet that I went and bought at the corner hardware store, the same place. Went to see my buddy Ron, and he hooked me up with nickel-coated split rivets. And we'll be using those when we put the wood back on the seat. I just wanted to take a minute to point out this little piece of wood that's in the corners of the seat. Their purpose, as well as I can determine, is the piece of vinyl that goes over this little edge here comes back and is tacked in, okay? On the other seat, I made new pieces like this, but these are very thin, 1/8 of an inch at the most. And when you put the bottom of the seat in, which goes approximately there, they have to clear. And not only does this have to clear the wood on each side, the leather that goes down the side of the seat has to clear on both sides. So, I'm making a decision. I'm going to take these out, and I am not going to worry about taking them out intact, and I'm not going to worry about putting them back. On the other seat, that piece of vinyl that went here, I glued, and it worked just fine. So we're going to keep, it worked just fine, so we're just going to glue it. And I'll take these out. Yeah, there is no taking this out intact. Not happening. Okay, there's a fine piece of British wood. And now I'll just pop out the rivets, and this will be ready to get sanded or sandblasted or whatever we're going to do with it. So after examining the rust on that seat, I decided to take it to my friends at a place called Thermaltech. They do powder coating here in Monroe, Washington. And they are going to sandblast that seat and powder coat it and theoretically have it back to me tomorrow afternoon. They are amazing people, Thermaltech, Monroe, Washington. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for my bucket to get blasted, I'm going to seal the wood with the boiled linseed oil. And these are the parts that we took off the car. I sanded them down, and they came out pretty nice. I'm trying to decide if I want to fill some of the holes with wood filler or not. But these pieces over here are the ones that my brother made. They're new. I am not going to oil those now because the ends need to be bent. Okay, they need to bend around the metal seat on the back corner. And to do that, I have to steam them, clamp them, bend them, and clamp them, let them dry, and then I'll oil them. Yeah, here's another mistake. On the last seat, I oiled them first, and as I was steaming them, the oil was getting everywhere. So we'll oil these after we bend them. Well, these little pieces of wood are nicely oiled. We'll let this dry overnight, because tomorrow we're supposed to get our seat back.